All right, as always, that was a good friend of the show, Colin Gow, with his officially licensed theme song podcast. I am Steve Shoney, the city manager for the city of Up Arlington. I am here with my co-host,
Darren Shulman. I'm the city attorney. I'm just every time you say I don't know if you're going to say sidekick or co-host. It's just
no, you're officially into co-host
because can't lose that.
You've booked multiple guests, so you are no longer in. I mean, it took you 2 years.
I feel like there's more pressure when you're a co-host, and maybe sidekick is better.
You know, if you want to live with lowered expectations,
just for podcasts, you know?
it's been the secret of my success. So, very excited here today. We actually 2 weeks in a row have double guests. We have Matt and Meghan Terwilliger. I was told by one of our staff this morning to call you Terwilliger.
Okay. Like the plural of Terwilliger is Terwilliger.
I don't know, but that's what
Kathleen told me.
That's what Kathleen told me.
Yeah.
I saw Kathleen as I was coming up the ramp in the parking garage. She's like, "Oh, you got Terwilliger on." Okay.
Is that what she calls you?
Apparently,
behind
I didn't know you
your
said
back.
it, but behind your back, apparently you're Terwilliger. You got a new nickname.
I thought you were going to say Twig because that's what everybody calls it. Is Twig.
Twig.
Oh, I'm gonna the Twigs, yeah. But
Yeah.
Also, apparently, people call us the Terwilliger.
Yeah.
So
News to me.
I realize this is completely divergent, but Twigs because you're tall and skinny, or because you're shortening the name, or
I
because you
think I think it's like an attempt to short the name.
It's
Okay.
both, but
Yeah.
it's
Did
odd
that come in high school?
before that.
Okay.
Before that, but it's odd that there's 3 generations of my family that have been called that without knowing that the previous generation was called that.
Wow.
So like my friends in elementary school.
I say you just go to the court. I just say you
Just
go to the
change it.
courtasious and get it
It's
changed.
way easier to spell.
It's
Good
so
for
much
the
easier.
kids.
Can you
I
give
can
them
help with that if
can
you
you give
want.
them some hand?
And you didn't give it to yourself, right?
No.
Because we had a discussion.
No,
earlier. You
what
can't
kid
give
is
yourself
going
a
to what
nickname.
kid is
No.
going to give themselves
No.
the nickname Twigs?
You gotta earn it.
But like his dad's friends called him Twigs. Was your grandpa even Twigs?
grandpa,
Like it's a very
I mean, I guess I can see if you took out some letters here and there,
yeah.
it kind of.
I actually give it like at restaurants, like loud restaurants, when they ask for your name, I just say Twigs. But people are still like, what? I'm like the stick.
Yeah.
Just Twig.
Now, can you be Twigs too?
Some people call me Twigs, but not as much as him.
Okay, but
No.
that'd be a little weird, I guess, if you had the same nickname.
We'll just stick to Terwilliger.
We are
Thanks,
like
guys.
the Twigs. Like our Christmas card is signed by the Twigs.
Oh, so you embrace it,
We are the Twigs.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure, for sure.
which is allowed as long as you don't give it to
But you
yourself.
could go to
Yes.
Terwilliger, kind of like fungi, right?
Yeah.
I like it in plural.
Yeah,
like
I
the
do. I think
Terwilliger.
it's you guys.
Would you consider putting that on your next Christmas card?
I'll think about
That
it.
Terwilliger.
We will consider it.
It depends on
Yeah,
how
I
many.
didn't box you in with a promise. Just to consider, considered and discarded.
All right, we explained to you our standard opening bit, and so Darren has our start bench cut for this week. I don't know. I know what the subject matter is.
The
but I
subject
do
matter. I was told that you are a video gamer.
I was.
Was
Yes.
so. This might be perfect. Now our ages are a little bit different, but I tried to go with kind of classic video games that might have hit in your era of video gaming prime. And if I'm wrong, I have some pivots here.
Okay.
But, so the start bench cut, and these are like series. You don't have to pick which one, but if you have a favorite, I'd like to know it. Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario, and Street Fighter. Now, first of all, do you know what those are? Those games? Okay, so I didn't completely whiff.
I would start Mario, bench Sonic, cut Street Fighter.
Street Fighter's gone.
Yeah. I never got into it.
All right, that's fair. Now, can you tell me why Mario is number one? Aside from the fact that there's a bazillion games. that you
Yeah,
play
I think
forever.
that's probably because of the different variations, and even now today, my kids like Mario Kart, so I'm gonna throw that in there. And so like
Fair.
I have very early memories of like taking the Mario Nintendo game and blowing into it to try to get
Yes.
it to work.
So you're all
so-
in Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, like I can visualize myself in my babysitter's basement blowing into the Mario Nintendo game to try to get it to work. And yeah, that's one of my first video game memories.
So this is really weird, and maybe you remember it, maybe you don't, but I'm really old, and I didn't even have a Nintendo, but I played at my friend's house, and there was a code you could put into the game Contra to get unlimited lives, and I still remember the Konami code. Up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. I haven't used that thing in 40 years, but I don't know if you ever played that game.
One day that's going to come.
We
in
hold on to
handy.
the important stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to come in handy one day.
when the machines take over and they suck us into their world, that is how you will save all of
All of humanity is the
Because
Konami
you will go in. It's buried deep in the AI code somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm sure it probably is.
And there's like
that's how you're going
it's
to
a
get
cheat code to get out
It's
of
a cheat
the
code to
Teach
get
us
Matrix.
out
all
of
how
the
to live
Matrix.
forever.
So
We're all
did-
going to have unlimited lives.
You referenced Nintendo Entertainment System, which is like the classic. Did you go beyond that, or is that kind of where you stopped?
No, I went beyond that. I was so Nintendo, little bit of Sega, Game Boy, Nintendo 64 was the first system that I bought myself. I bought it with my paper route money, and then that was all GoldenEye.
What's a
Oh, GoldenEye was legit. Did you play with Odd Jobs?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
so small you couldn't hit
Oh
him.
yeah, yep.
I told you I could geek out on video games all day.
Oh yeah.
We can have a
I was
separate
going to say,
conversation.
who's your listening demographic, guys?
Well, we don't really have a demographic.
Yeah, it's my wife and Darren's dad. About 3 other people. So we didn't tell that part of you. We didn't tell you that part when we gave
There's
you
no
the-
pressure to perform.
So, Megan, I actually have a separate one for you. And this is I'm going to modify it a little bit because we interviewed, what was the name of the coach, the last basketball coach?
Oh,
Not,
UA basketball coach?
no, OSU basketball coach,
Holtman.
Holtman. So we interviewed Coach Holtman, and I gave him a start bench cut of OSU basketball players with a deep UA connection. Now, I didn't know you were in UA at this point. So what I gave him was Bill Hoskett, Katie Smith, and Danny Hummer. Because Danny had played for Coach.
Yeah.
But, Megan, I'm going to give you Bill Hoskett, Katie Smith, Matt Terwilliger.
Oh,
Man,
Oh.
which one of those doesn't belong?
which one of those gets cut? I mean, you're allowed to explain your answer,
Oh,
but
man.
I have some nerves as to how this one's going to turn out.
oh man.
Just as a heads up, one of them doesn't have an Olympic gold medal. So,
Or an NBA or a NBA or WNBA championship.
yeah,
and-
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to start Matt Terwilliger. I know him best.
Wow.
He's reliable. Reliability's important.
Feel warm and fuzzy.
So
Oh
Now you
no,
have to- now you
this
have
is
to cut
awful.
one.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
awful.
See, you went
Now
with
you
the
have
easy
to-
choice for
yeah.
your life, but now you made it harder for the next
I
two.
would
now,
not
now you have
for
to
cutting
select
me.
between the Naismith Hall of Fame member and Katie Smith, or the guy who won an Olympic gold medal and an NBA championship. Now, I do give Hoskett a hard time because everybody's familiar with the famous scene of Willis Reed walking into the Garden after he's injured. What few people know is that the reason the crowd at the Madison Square Garden was so excited is because Bill Hoskett was Willis Reed's sub.
Yeah.
And so everybody was just happy to not see that Willis Reed was going to be playing instead of Hoskett, is what I tell Hoskett all the time. But this is the choice you're left with.
The only unhappy person in the Garden was Bill Hoskett.
No, I
when
think
Willis
He
Reed
might have
came
been
in.
okay with
No,
this here.
having talked to Hoskett, and he was happy not to be going up against Will Chamberlain.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to bench Hoskett because you need good practice players to sharpen your starters.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to cut Katie because she should have played volleyball.
Oh, snap. So we
That's
probably
well played.
That's the best
That
way
was-
I could
that
get
was-
out of
that
that.
was- That was very, very well played.
so we should probably add some context for people who don't know the Terwilliger guy as to what the volleyball basketball
Yeah.
connection
So
is.
why don't you guys tell Darren's dad and my wife a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Go ahead.
Me first?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Where do we start? Do we start where we met?
Start with where you guys met.
Okay. We actually met overseas in Germany. So we're both from Ohio. Matt's from Troy, Dayton area, and I'm from Lancaster. But we met in Germany. He was playing professional basketball, and I was playing professional volleyball. And he was playing a lot of video games. And I was looking for a very tall, handsome man. So
So it worked out.
it worked out really well. We started dating while we were over there, and then got a little more serious when we got home and decided to be grown-ups and get real jobs. And then we lived in German Village for a handful of years. And then I've always been the spontaneous one, sometimes in a way where I'll like pull the grenade and toss it in, sometimes in a more calculated way. But we decided to move to Upper Arlington when I sold our house from under us.
Oh.
Like while I was at work.
Just sold.
Wow.
I like put it on Zillow. You know how they have that make me move thing?
I didn't know that was
didn't
real.
know
Like
that.
I didn't know anyone
Oh,
actually
it's
ever
real.
did that.
It's real, yeah.
No,
And I was like,
I don't know about
Someone
this
actually
thing. What is
can
this?
make you move.
if you go on Zillow, you can like claim your house, right? And you can list a price. It says like, I'll move if you pay this much.
I didn't know anyone actually ever did that.
I did it, yeah.
So at breakfast, we're eating breakfast before I leave for work, and Megan says, I wonder what we could get for this house if we decided to list it. And so like, I'm a very theoretical thinker, like, yeah, I'm curious to know what we could get for this house as well.
He would build like 8 spreadsheets about it too.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
the finance person and the marketing person living in the same house and seeing what happens. Like, this is like, I really wish there had been a reality TV cameras.
I got a
around for
text
that.
at lunchtime. It was like, so I sold the house.
I cannot.
The one we live in?
Like for reals?
Yeah. Well, I put the make me move price, and I was like, yeah, that's a lot. Like, I'd move. And people came in and messaged me, and they were like, it was a husband and wife, and her parents lived right behind us.
Oh,
And
so
they
really wanted
were,
it.
I don't know if they were expecting yet, or they were going to start a family, and they just wanted like a little starter home. And they were willing to pay it. And I was like, oh, okay, sold. And so Matt didn't get to do any of his analysis.
I kind of wish we had video because Matt's face is like, I just got hit in the face.
Matt's
did.
reliving
still,
it
Yeah.
in my
Matt
mind.
still is traumatized by
Yeah.
this. Which is more traumatic, that or this week in the markets? I can't tell.
I prepared him for such things, though, right? Like,
This week in the markets has not been as bad because I've been living with this kind of turmoil
Okay.
at my house for the last
you
10
said,
years.
you said you were
12 years,
training.
yeah.
in my defense, it all worked out
Yeah.
because we did have to move very quickly, and we had been like talking about a lot of different suburbs, and I was like, I really like UA. I really want to live in UA. And so Matt found us. Matt is he's very good at being a connected person. He's like, well, I'm going to find a good realtor. So we actually worked with Jane Jones, and she.
Grant was our team
sure.
doctor at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I knew he was from UA, so I called Doc Jones and asked him who he should use, and he said, my mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she found us a little house that wasn't on the market yet, which is kind of how I think it has to go here.
Yeah.
And
I thought you were going to say you just scoured the Zillow make me moves and made someone else
made
move.
someone else. No, she found us a house that wasn't on the market yet. It was a fixer-upper, which is also my thing. And we walked in, and Matt was like, ugh. And I was like, I love it.
Well, we walked in, and she was like, this is it. And it was like 1,300 square feet. I'm like, yeah, this
This is it.
this I could touch the front and back walls when I spread my arms out here. Like, what are you talking
I
about?
mean, you're a big dude, so that's not bad.
Well, but then she went into her like creative design thing where she's like, no, we're going to take the whole back half of the house off. We're going to take this wall down. We're going to double the square footage, floating stairs, upstairs. I'm like, can you just show me a picture? Show me a picture on Pinterest. I don't see any of this.
Yeah, so then I was like, let's make an offer. At the time, the market's always crazy here, but we like make this offer, no contingencies. So then Matt's head explodes because this all happens in a week.
We hadn't officially sold our other house yet. Like it wasn't closed. We were still technically living there.
And like to buy a house in UA, you got to go hard with the money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which
right
we
away.
didn't have until
Yeah.
the other house closed.
Yeah.
Because we're young. This is our German Village house was our first house. I think we bought it when I was 23 or 24, like super young. So Matt is like, I have not done enough spreadsheets for this kind of stress. And I'm like, it's going to work out. It'll be fine. And it did. We got the house. We renovated the house. We loved the house. We had 2 kids in the house. And
Are
then
you still in the house?
so we moved 4 doors down during COVID.
Yeah.
So we still live on the block. We love our block. I love our neighbors.
This is 1 second. It literally is like one of the most UA stories on how we got the house. Like the walls are closing in because we just had our second kid. It's COVID, and we're like, this is not enough space. We got to move. and we're scouring, looking everywhere. We even considered, like, we were looking at like 20-acre lots in Sunbury.
Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna get out of here. And my son and I are walking to the goodie shop on a Saturday morning, and the guy is dragging the for sale by owner sign out of his shed and puts it in the yard.
It's like, Wayne, put it away.
And I was like, Wayne,
Put that thing back.
put that thing back. Megan and I will be down to look at it in about 20 minutes.
So you kind of did the make me move back to her when you're like, I'm just buying this house.
Yeah,
But
a
you're
little
probably
bit.
cool with it.
Well, but he was like, you need to go look at it. Because it was also a fixer-upper. What is it? It's like gluttons for punishment. We've done like 3 full home renovations now. We're actually currently renovating that house.
With kids and
3 kids now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in a rental right now while we renovate that house
For the second time.
for the second time. Yeah.
After fully gutting the first one.
I want to dig into this German connection, but before I do that, to add context, you obviously have some sports background to be playing professionally in Germany. So what did you do?
Oh yeah, I
that?
like told the story of us.
No,
but
this is
not
great. This
any
is like
of our
the
sports
this is like the
stuff.
movies where they have the kind of middle, and then you go to the beginning. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now we'll flash.
Well,
Yeah.
So I just finished watching the latest season of White Lotus last night. At least it's better than that. We didn't start with somebody lying face down in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank goodness.
so yeah. What is your, just so people don't know, what is both your sports backgrounds?
You go this time. I went on a tangent, so maybe you'll be better.
My background was basketball, so I played basketball at Ohio State. Like Megan said, I'm from Troy, so just north of Dayton. I played here at Ohio State from 04 to 08. So kind of timeline, 04 was the year that Matt Sylvester hit the shot against Illinois when they were undefeated. Won the Big Ten my sophomore year. Junior year was the run to the national championship game where we inevitably lost to Florida. Senior year was Evan Turner, John Diebler, Costa Koufis was their freshman year where we won the NIT.
So you were on some like legit teams.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really good players that were lucky enough to play with me while I was there.
Yes.
And
They're on podcasts right now saying, I just want to let you know I played with.
yeah.
Twitch.
Well, so like,
Terwilliger,
so
yeah.
let's look at a through line here. All right. So Terrence Dials, Big Ten Player of the Year. Greg Oden, #1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Costa Koufis, number 14 overall pick. Othello Hunter spent 7 years in the NBA. What's the one thing that they all have in common?
This guy.
They had to guard me every day. They had to guard me in practice.
Haven't dunked on you in practice, right?
Yeah, well, they all took turns doing that, but you know, I made them work for it.
You made them
work
better
for it.
players, yeah.
So, anyways, so I was there at a very good time to win some games. Not so great for personal playing time, but for obvious reasons when you have multiple lottery picks that are playing in front of you. So after graduating, moved to Europe, played professionally for 3 years. Met Megan while I was over there and kind of realized how much I was putting the rest of my life on hold. And it was fun for the time, but then you get some bigger perspective and it's like, it's probably time to put that degree to use. Not to mention I went to Finland for the beginning of my 4th season and I was in Joensuu, Finland, which is...
Where Santa lives.
Yeah, I was an hour south of the Arctic Circle.
Oh, cool. Now,
So I flew into Helsinki and went 4 hours north from there.
wow. So when you,
During the winter.
I was there in August.
Well,
and
yeah, I was going to say winter is 10 months of the year.
Yeah,
but
it was like they were like, oh, just wait till October. It'll be dark for 23 hours a day and there'll be 7 feet of snow. I was like, no, I'm not going to wait for that. I'm going home.
so I've heard
Put
there's
that degree to use.
a lot of different sort of European levels and everything, but how do you compare it to maybe the very high level of college basketball? Did you go over there and just like dominate? Because I played at Ohio State, or was it like pretty good?
No, so all the leagues. So my 3 years in Germany, oddly enough, so my first year in Germany, there were 7 Americans on my team. 4 of them were from Ohio. 2 of them were from Dayton, and I'd known them since I was 10.
Oh wow,
That's fine.
So yeah, it was.
Little America.
It was
Yeah.
like, I mean, it was a very easy transition for me. Everybody in Germany spoke English. The German league was very competitive. You would get a handful of like fringe NBA guys,
Yeah.
but there were definitely some levels where like, you know, I could have gone over
that
there
was
and scored
pre-G
40 or
League,
50.
right?
No, they still had the G League,
Okay.
but the money is significantly better
Yeah.
over there. So there will be guys that'll play in the G League, but you make like $25,000 to $28,000 a year in the G League, where you know a fringe NBA guy in Europe could make a couple $1 million a year.
Before I get into the volleyball origin story, what was the mascot of the team you're on, or the name? Did you have like a cool thing?
The Germans are very practical. So I played for Paderborn my first 2 years, and they were the Baskets.
Oh, come on now, really?
Real lazy.
Strike sphere.
Real lazy.
We are the bat. I guess you're. Yeah.
And then my third season, I played in Hagen, and they were the Phoenix.
That one was a little better.
That's kind of cool.
It was better. It was supposed to be like the big Phoenix bird, but it kind of looked like a German version of Big Bird.
Pretty intimidating.
Yeah, it was also very intimidating.
So how'd you get to Germany playing sports?
Well, she went to a fine educational institution.
Yes. So I actually went to Ohio State first,
Ha, Steve.
but
But got
I
smart.
transferred. Yes. So I played my freshman season at Ohio State, and then transferred to Ohio University and finished out there. And we had a great run. Not quite as impressive as Matt's, but for a MAC school, like I did 4 NCAA tournaments, and we won the MAC every year. I used to have 4 MAC rings, and my daughters have since hidden them,
What?
around the house, because nothing is your own when you have kids. But after college, I couldn't find a job anywhere because it was like 2010. So we're shortly after the recession, and nobody is hiring anybody anywhere. And I had a job. I got a job monitoring like servers for Nationwide IT. Night
Were you
shift.
an IT
Night
person?
shift. No, I was a journalism major at OU.
All right, well, that's a good transition, I guess.
Yeah. So it was, and then my agent called and he was like, "Do you want to go like play overseas for peanuts?" And I was like, "Yes, get me out of here."
You had an agent?
Yes. No, it sounds sexier.
No, that sounds awesome.
It's not sexy. Like it sounds all of it sounds sexier than it really is
Ari
because
Gold.
Yeah, he's like, I got a deal for you.
yeah, he did. But he was like, "I got a deal for you. It's like $1,000 a month, and they'll get you a cell phone." And I was like, "Okay."
Cell phone sounds good.
Yeah.
So
And I get
is
to go
it
live in Europe
weird
and-
that you
Yeah,
both
exactly.
are from Ohio? You both, at least for a while, went to Ohio State, and you both independently end up in Germany? Like
So
that's-
I actually didn't go to Germany. I went to Copenhagen, Denmark.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's very close to Germany. Everything's much closer.
How'd you
over
actually
there.
meet then? 'Cause
Oh,
you're
I
not-
stalked him.
All right, there you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
Yeah. But
Did
so
you Google American dudes playing basketball in Germany? And you something like
so
that?
this the jury's still out on this because so I go over there.
No, it's not.
To
Just as a heads up.
Jury's not out.
to get away from life, I guess, like adult life that wasn't very fun. And it's cool because they do sports very differently over there. Like everybody's like, what do you mean you played professionally but you only made like $1,000? Well, it's because all the sports in Europe aren't done through schools, they're done through clubs. So the clubs will go hire, better players from other countries to make their adult team really good so that all of the kids will come and pay to play at the club. And then they work their way up and then they eventually play on the adult team. So like everything is done through clubs. So there's a lot more professional opportunity because here it's all schools and then you have these completely independent, like money-making professional leagues, but only for like men's basketball and baseball and football. Over there, every sport has professional potential, and there's no rules around like amateurism. So like there can be like 17-year-old kids that are playing on the pro team if they're good enough. Right. So like there's just a very wide range. So the league that I was in was like nowhere near the caliber of Division I like volleyball in the United States. But it was cool. It was a really cool travel experience,
Yeah.
and
So did you dominate then? Because you're like, I've got 4 MAC rings up in here. Like, were you just crushing them?
well, yeah, I got to like play 6 rotations, which I never got to do here. I'm a middle, so I only play the front row in the U.S. But over there, I got to play all the time. It was great. So yeah, I went to Copenhagen, Denmark. My experience was very different from Matt's. I had no other Americans on my team.
We're in the league. There was 1 or 2 in the
Yeah,
whole league.
there were a few others in the league, and they were all on the championship team from the previous year, probably for like money reasons. And like my coach was like a wealthy business owner, and volleyball was like his hobby, so he just like bought an American, which was me.
He's like, I got a couple $1,000 to throw.
I actually think his business partner, best friend, bought me for him, which sounds really awful. It sounds really bad, but It was a great experience. They were lovely people. Copenhagen is like the safest place in the whole world.
Yeah.
Like people will just like park their babies outside the grocery store and go do their grocery shopping.
So my
That sounds not safe.
but
It is though.
I've seen it
Yeah.
because my sister actually lives in Copenhagen, has lived there for 20, 30 years. She
Oh my gosh.
actually works in the embassy in the security office, basically their administrative manager. And I remember going over, it's pushing 30 years ago now, when my niece was born, and you would see people like leave their pram. Not only do they leave them outside, but not only do they just leave them, but there's this whole theory that we're going to leave them out in the cold
Oh yeah.
because it's better for the baby.
It's like December, and
you'll see
they'll
them.
just park their babies outside. Like I had a team meal at my apartment, and one of the girls on the team had a 6-month-old baby, and I was like, "Where's Yelty?" And she's like, "Oh, he's outside." And she left him out there for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
My wife is literally twinging right now thinking about this because like
They like think it builds, resilience in the babies, and then they grocery shop on their own. Nobody takes them. Or like, you go to the bar or you go to a club at night, and ladies just like set their purse on the bar and go dance. Like nobody's, stealing purses or roofing it. It's
And
very,
I can tell you,
very
my
safe.
nieces are lovely, fine, well-adjusted young women.
but are they
They're
hardy and tough?
They
because
are hardy and tough.
Cold,
Yeah.
cold
Yeah.
forged.
Yeah. So.
So how did you stalk him?
Oh, okay. So I don't have any American friends there. Danish is much harder to speak it. You have to like put a bunch of marbles in your mouth, I think, before you say anything. I like wrote my address on a piece of paper, and I would like show it to cab drivers because I couldn't pronounce it. And I'm just like fumbling through. Like I don't know how to send any money home. I don't know where to find peanut butter or mac and cheese or ranch dressing, like all of the important American things. And I'm on Facebook because Facebook is still like a cool thing for young people at this time. And I see
It's not anymore.
Question mark?
it's like still the place where you update your status. So I'm on Facebook and I see a status update from this guy, Matt, and we're friends. This is where the jury is still out. Like who friended who? How are we friends?
Yeah.
Because
How are you friends?
technically, I went to school with him for like 2 semesters my freshman year, but I have no memory of him. Like he has no memory of me, allegedly. And like how we still don't know. And like you used to be able to go back and see like the origin of your friendship.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say who friended who. It just says became friends.
Well, when did
So-
you become friends? Did you get that date? Like, was it while
I
you were
think
at
it was
school?
while I was
we're
in
in
school.
school, yeah.
But I also think it was
At
one
Ohio
of
State
those.
together.
Okay.
It was like in the time where
You just friended
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this person, this
Yeah.
connection. You just
But I didn't do that, so I think it was him. Anyway, we're friends somehow. And he was like saying that he was on his way back over to Germany for his 3rd season or whatever. And I was like, well, I don't have any friends. This guy's pretty cute, and it seems like he's done this before. So like at the very least, I can get a friend, and maybe he can help me like do all the things I'm trying to do here without any support. So I Facebook messaged him. I don't know if you remember me. We went to Ohio State together for a little bit. But I'm in Denmark. I'm just like a couple hours north of you, and I could just really use a friend. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." Like,
I mean, did you though?
Did you?
no, not at all.
You just
I mean,
looked at
'cause
a
you can't
picture
be
and
like,
said,
no,
I want to remember you.
Yeah,
I have no idea who you
definitely
are.
remember you. Yeah,
Are you
yes.
catfishing me? This seems weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was pre. Was it the guy from Notre Dame? This was pre catfishing.
Yeah,
so I
okay.
wasn't
So
even
you
thinking
didn't
about
think
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Manti Teo.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the rest is kind of history.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Went 5,000 miles to meet a girl from Columbus.
Yeah, that just seems odd that it happened that way. But I guess Facebook allowed you to make that connection.
Thanks, Mark.
You guys didn't see each other and do the weird OHIO thing that people will do. in the middle of the
No,
street in
we
Europe?
didn't.
Okay.
I actually
She's Bobcat.
the first
Well,
time.
yeah, I know. We taught her well not to do that.
She still every once in a while will claim like, well, we're the original Ohio. And so-
1804, baby.
Yeah.
So before we get into
Hold
what-
on.
Oh,
Fun fact. So we're sitting in the Bob Crane Community Center. TJ Putnam, who is the center manager, is a descendant, is the descendant of the brother of Rufus Putnam, the founder of Ohio University, which is where Rufus
The bobcat.
comes from.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
How about that?
There you go.
All right.
It's both fun and it makes your head hurt because there was a lot of like, he is the son of the uncle of the brothers of the
Yeah,
nephews.
it goes back to like, pre-Revolutionary War.
Yeah, but his
kinda
name's Putnam,
case,
so I guess it still does at least have a line there.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So before we get into what you're doing now, I just have to extend you both an offer that you're going to want to accept.
Okay.
Okay.
We do have a weekly basketball game from city employees if you want to kind of get a challenge.
And it's actually like today at
11 o'clock.
my gym bag's downstairs.
I did hear that you've got a mean baby hook, Darren.
I have the old man skills because I'm short
Yeah,
and not
but
very good.
but which one of us has a video of us making a 3-pointer on
That would
the
be
city
you.
social media? Yeah, thank you.
So I don't want to
There you go.
oversell it, but it is a very amazing game. But more importantly, we
Kathleen
do have a
texted me
city.
this morning and told me that you have a mean baby hook.
Oh, man,
Kathleen gets out and
She balls
balls
with
with
us.
us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have no doubt she's probably one of the better players on the floor.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I mean,
So here's my question for the two of you though: who's got the better vertical jump?
Now or at their prime?
I will let you guys choose how you answer that question.
Are we going actual vertical or
You're putting a lot of qualifiers.
what is
on
the
this.
other? What is not
So
actual
so
vertical?
so your qualifiers are telling me what the real answer is.
so here's what I'm saying, like actual inches it would be me. But like impressiveness for men versus women would probably be her.
Okay.
So yeah, the other offer was
I did have the vertical record at OU weight room for a while.
Really?
We have a city volleyball team, and we're not very good, but we're always looking for new members, and you might be good enough.
I don't know.
You're a fantastic recruiter.
I'm not
You
very
might
good
be-
anymore.
You might be good enough. You can prove yourself and really.
I played in practice this past season, and I hit like 30 balls, and then I had ice on my ankles. I had ice on my shoulder.
days.
I was in a lot
days.
of pain, and I probably can't jump over a stack of credit cards anymore. But
I mean, it's okay. Like that is all right. We play at Flanagan, so it's not.
I'm very good at like coaching.
We'll take whatever we can get. I have this thing where I told Steve I needed to use our employee assistance program because we would like go up by 10 points and then blow it every game, and I just couldn't. I couldn't take it. Like I'd rather just get smashed. I guess that's a good question for you sports folks. Would you rather lose in the last second or just get destroyed and you're kind of out of it?
Last second.
You would rather lose in the last second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how painful was it for you, Matt, watching the finals and watching Florida win? Was that
It was painful to watch Houston lose the way they lost.
yeah.
There's a little bit of like, well, they beat us, so I can't undo that. So I would rather they beat everybody.
Yeah.
Not that I want to root for them, but
So you don't have like an anti-Florida.
Oh, I
Yes, he
certainly
does.
do.
He definitely
I
does.
certainly do. Yes.
We're still a little petty here.
Yeah,
We
and
still-
absolutely. Like I watched them win, and then I flash right back to like walking off the floor with green and orange streamers falling on my shoulders, and I'm certainly not rooting for them, but
That team was pretty juiced too, wasn't it?
oh yeah, I
They
mean
had
it was
a lot of
one of the
pros.
only back-to-back national championship teams in the history of college basketball.
Was Horford on that team?
Horford, Noah, Torian Green. I used to play against Lee Humphrey in Europe, and I would use all my fouls on him.
Just why not?
Just like I know that he's got my ring at home, and there's nothing I can do about it other than foul him.
I use all my fouls in our pickup game because there's nothing I can do but do that too. So what are you guys up to now?
Go ahead.
You go.
He went first last time.
Oh, okay.
I'm moderating this panel here. today.
Okay. Well, now we have 3 beautiful children. They are almost 8. Our oldest will be 8 next week, and he's a 2nd grader at Tremont. Our middle is 5, and she is at Burbank. She'll start kindergarten in the fall. And our youngest, little terror, is 2.5, and she is a big bundle of energy, and she'll also start Burbank in the fall. I do a lot of random things, which, now that you know me a little bit, makes sense for my personality. But so I hang with them, and I coach volleyball at the high school here. And I started a youth volleyball program called Volley Bears. So I do a lot of stuff with the littles in the community. And then I use my marketing background to help Matt's business do his website and his business development, which is basically just me telling him to go to lunch with people and to sponsor my volleyball program ads and the Tremont silent auction.
You could start sponsoring podcasts. I mean,
that would make attendance in the volleyball.
Yeah, you should talk to his biz dev director.
But wouldn't then all the money would then go to
goes to
Colin's
Colin.
coffee,
it all goes to Colin. That's true.
All right.
We had this debate that if someone like brought food to the podcast, would we have to like put it in a Tupperware and give it to Colin?
We might. And Colin would take it.
If you're going on like old school NCAA rules, yes, that is.
That would have to happen.
That's a monetary compensation or
You
something.
could do bagels but no cream cheese.
So is that all real? Like, did you notice that stuff when you guys were playing? Like, you hear about the bagels and the cream cheese and the restrictive rules.
We definitely got free pizzas once, and we were scared. Like, oh no, does this count? Are we gonna get in trouble?
I told Coach Mata 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, statute of limitations is up. I got a free piece of ice cream cake once at Champs restaurant. So just wanted to come clean on my NCAA violations. But I'm sure there were people that were getting things, but I did not.
Would you have killed it on NIL?
We wonder that sometimes.
No, maybe. Honestly, I think based on my proximity to greatness, I probably could have made some money, but I think whoever paid me that money would have been highly disappointed on the back end.
You probably would have had to be the guy doing like the car commercial.
No,
like,
I was going to say every car dealership in Troy, Ohio would have been all over you to do.
Oh yeah.
Because there's some guys with the NIL who actually do what it's supposed to be, which is ads and things, and I think you probably wouldn't really do that. But there's some people that's like, I just want to pay you to play because you're really awesome.
Yeah.
Whoa, is that automatic or what?
Sorry, the background noise is that we're up in the green room, and for some reason the automatic, I think it's the time of day, the automatic shades are going down to keep the building from getting too warm, even though it's really, really
That was
dark and dreary out today.
Now would volleyball have NIL too now?
So women's volleyball is what, like third in NIL monies? But I don't know. For women's volleyball, I have to go back to like, would I have been good at like social media influence? Because that's a big kind of, that's what people are using is social media to do their promotions and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would have been very good at that. Like it like pains me to take a selfie. I feel like there's a line where selfies became normal and I am older than that line. And so like taking a photo of myself feels so awkward. So I don't know.
They would have been like, I will pay you. And you're like, I can't do selfies.
Yeah.
But I do use Facebook for other purposes.
I do use Facebook to track down husbands, yes.
Maybe you could have been like an endorser for Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have done that.
Yep.
So we referenced your business, Matt, but what are you up to now?
Yeah, so I own a wealth management company. So I spent, my degree was family financial planning at Ohio State. Spent 12 years at Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley, and then 2 years ago left and started my own. So it's myself and Megan and Bethany and May. It's just the four of us.
Is that sort of a typical transition where you kind of do your time and learn from one of those big places, then you kind of go off on your own, or is that something you just kind of just did?
What we did was a little unconventional.
Okay.
I was in a pretty good spot. Usually people kind of just settle in. If I'm being honest, they get to that spot. They get to the, if I'm tooting my own horn just a little bit, they get to the spot that I got to and they're like, all right, this is pretty sweet. And I got to that spot and I was like, I see what this could be and I just want something different.
I am as far as you can get from a financial guy, because that's why I went to law school. Numbers are bad. But do you have like a specialty or a target market or a thing you do?
Yeah. So actually Megan helped us come up with this, and her marketing strategies are, they're probably normal for marketing, but for a finance person, they were off the wall. But so we focus on people with what we've coined as lumpy income. So people that have inconsistent income. So think like a business owner, corporate executive, professional athlete, something like that. You know, you've got your everyday paycheck that probably pays the bills, but then you've got, if a business owner, you got a distribution that you take at the end of the year.
Okay.
Or if you're a corporate executive, you get a stock bonus or a stock grant once or twice a year. Professional athletes make a lot of money early in their lives. All of it just lends to inconsistency. which is a very different planning process, because
Yeah.
financial planning usually is you do this, you get this amount in, this is your budget for the month, this is how much you save. You do that this month, and you do it again next month,
Yeah.
and again, and again, and again, and again, and then you get to 62 and you pull your Social Security and you're retired. Where most of the people that we work with, all the money that they make on a monthly basis, they spend. And then those like 1 or 2 days a year where they get those big chunks are their entire opportunity to get off the hamster wheel ever.
So it sounds like almost, not really, but almost kind of, it's like an opposite mindset from the typical financial planning.
Yeah.
It's the watchword is consistency, 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 and you just have no ability to do that.
Well, yeah, like if you're a business owner, like we are business owners, we have business owner friends, and it's like some of them just hang in there for years and then they have an exit of some kind,
Right.
and there's a big windfall.
Yeah.
So planning for that is just a little bit different than the plugging in the numbers and assuming a certain growth rate and just sending people on their way.
And that was part of why ultimately I left, was because, our planning process there did not match the clients that I was running into. You do a budget analysis for someone who's running at a deficit on a monthly basis, and it's like, well, this math doesn't math. But then the quarterly distributions is like, I'm going to make up numbers. You bring in 8,000 and you spend 10,000. That doesn't work.
You kill them on the volume, though, right?
That doesn't work. But then what you have to take into account is, 4 times a year they're taking a distribution to make up for the difference plus save additional. So it's just a different planning process.
So how do you get the, advertising on youth volleyball, but how do you get the word out and find those people who, I'm not gonna say niche, because I think there's a lot of people in that thing, but it's not just, hey, you need financial stuff, come to my office. So how do you find those people? Or how do they find you?
A lot of word of mouth, honestly. A lot of word of mouth.
A lot of
right
referrals.
Now. Yeah.
A lot of referrals. We don't do like financial planning is like a white glove service industry. You're not going to commit to your financial planner off of a Facebook ad. So I don't bother with stuff like that. We do events a lot because then there is like a lot more human contact, which I think is super important when you're going to give your life savings to somebody or to manage. So we do fun events. We try to focus on things that we like to do. So right now I'm planning like a couples pickleball tournament for the summer.
Oh, did you know that this dude thinks is a pickleball genius?
It's so fun.
So if my performance this afternoon or late this morning in basketball is problematic, it's because I had league last night and played for 2 solid hours. And during league, I go hard. And
He's got a rating.
You have do you have
Duper
the
rating.
app? What's Duper? Duper, yeah.
Rating, right?
He has a Duper rating.
May was
Yeah.
explaining this to us in our office, and
So honestly, I
Seems
might use
impressive.
Duper to prospect for Matt here soon.
Yeah, like all the top
Yeah,
Duper rating people.
we'll look at like Duper ratings for people in New Albany, and it tells me their age, and I can look them up on LinkedIn and like corporate executive. Okay, this might work.
This is the most genius thing. Duper as a
hold on, I'm going to cross promote our pod here. You need to listen to our podcast with Frank Cass,
I know. Frank.
Oh yeah.
because we talked about Frank's ownership of Frank and what's his son's name? Drawing a blank on his son's name. Anyway, Frank and his son's David. Frank and David's ownership of Pickle and Chill, and then Duper.
They own the Duper rating.
They own Duper.
You're
Yes.
kidding.
know
Frank,
that.
yeah, Frank and David own
And the
Duper.
fact that you knew what it was, because I don't play pickleball, makes me feel that it's even more legit now. Because Steve talks about pickleball all the time. I can't take
I
it.
don't talk about it all the time. I talk about how good
Yeah.
I am, but that's
Like check in with me maybe in like 2 years, and we'll see if this prospecting funnel worked. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
It'll be
It's
fun
like,
in the process whether it works.
yeah,
or
like
not.
I love pickleball. We've had a ton of fun with it. I've built a league for like Tremont moms, and now I'm going to try to do this event.
We sponsored the league.
And Matt sponsored the league. He got us all visors that say Big Deal Energy. It's great.
so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I made one of my hobbies is making cocktails. I made a pickleball themed cocktail.
I love it.
for
Did it have
4th of
pickle
July.
juice in it?
It did. It was a pickle juice margarita. So
Okay.
It was a
Okay.
margarita, a
Wait,
little
you're
bit of
saying
pickle
that like it
juice,
sounds good?
and
Maybe.
Okay, because I'm like,
margarita base, a little bit of pickle juice, a little bit of mezcal, because that smokiness in the
I
mezcal.
can get down with that. Yeah, I like mezcal too.
I would try it for sure.
Yeah.
Pickle juice just reminds me of
So,
picklebacks in college.
I was going to say the pickle thing is very OU, isn't it? The
Uh-huh.
picklebacks are popular at OU.
That's all popular at OU.
It sounds like alcohol is popular at OU.
It was.
I grew up in Oxford, so.
Jackie's an OU grad too, so yeah.
Nice.
We actually, a couple years ago, we did a senior leadership team retreat, and we all went, because it was Jackie and I deciding where we went. We did it at the Voinovich School and had them facilitate down at OU. And
I love that.
That's great.
I love that.
yeah.
Do you have any Ohio State like loyalty because you had a summer semester there, or are you like, no, I'm all OU?
I
okay,
don't. No, I
It's
don't.
okay. I went to Northwestern, so like I kind of.
And she's a Lancaster girl, so
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
like
there's
right
that.
in the middle. I don't have like a ton of loyalty to either school. Like I have loyalty to my coach. I loved my coach at OU, and he's actually the new coach of Florida.
Who's now at Florida.
Oh no!
So like I love him. Like I follow him. Like I send my booster money to him.
Yeah.
And like I loved my time at OU, and like I like to go back every now and then. And the coach that's at OU now was my coach for a year, and then he was at Ohio State. Like he and I switched. So I love him. Like I'm more interested in the people, not necessarily the institution.
That makes a lot of sense.
I've been to OU with Meghan twice. When her and her teammates reconvene there. I've never made it to nighttime. It's a tough place to hang.
Yeah.
And I'm a pretty skilled partier.
Yeah.
I'm
But they
decent
just
at
done
it.
it once
did
or
you
twice.
under?
I've done it once or twice, and I've never made it to the sun going down. So I'm back in the hotel asleep. I'll see you guys when we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right.
He says, "Good. You're not really an OU."
Jackie, edit that out.
There will be some
So
edits
what's
here.
going to happen is there's going to be a follow-up podcast a year from now. We're going to get Steve's going to mix his drink because he's so proud of it, and you're going to tell me how the duper rating prospecting went.
Yeah.
This
I'm
could be a
gonna
whole
do
new
a
thing.
case study on it because I'm a big nerd and I love
Yeah.
case
You
studies.
should present a PowerPoint presentation
I love
on it.
PowerPoints.
So one other practical thing. So the new pickleball courts at Northam are open, and you can reserve them.
You can? How? I need to do that.
through our rec track system, which is our normal online
Okay.
Parks and Recreation system. So
So
you
we're
can,
hoping to use those for our tournament.
Yes, we are.
So you can talk to Kathleen. Kathleen
Okay.
can hook
Okay.
you up with.
I'm on it.
how
Are you
to
guys
get it all done.
good at pickleball? Because I don't know, is being tall helpful at pickleball?
Maybe.
I think
I'll
so
let you
because
know.
of like
I don't know.
reach, but like in my experience so far, I don't have any chill. Like I want to hit it hard every single time, and like there's a lot of finesse I feel like in pickleball. So I haven't found that steady, like that happy medium where I don't make errors because I just am trying to go so hard with every contact.
This is
See,
gonna be like chess. Once you figure out how
Yeah.
to play, I used to kick her butt in chess every time because all I had to do was just move pieces around
And wait for me to
eventually
kill myself.
She would get bored and try to make the like kill shot, but as soon as she learned to just like
Not do that.
not do that, I haven't won since.
So here's the thing: as I'm not Twigs tall, but I'm relatively tall.
Twilla guy.
Yeah, I'm not a Twirla guy. So the key in pickleball, if you're tall, is act like you're going to hit it hard and then hit it soft because people are freaked out because you're so tall. They're afraid you're going to slam
okay.
it down. That's good.
I'm gonna try that strategy next week.
It completely throws people off.
I need to just look up a YouTube video on how to hold the paddle. Like, I feel like I get balls to the corner or the side of the paddle. Like, I don't have good hand or paddle eye coordination yet. It's not great.
I always
I got a
remember
guy.
a tennis racket. So when I swing, I think I'm getting it over there because tennis racket's longer and it just whips.
Yeah. I've never used an attachment to hit a ball. Like I just hit a ball with
Yeah.
my hand, so it's been an adjustment.
So you've got the opposite. I think the ball's
by
going
the
to be
way-
over there. You think it's going to be in here.
Yeah.
By the way, it is legal for you to just drop your paddle and hit it with your hand.
It is.
It is.
That's
Wait,
a game
what?
changer.
Yeah.
It's legal?
So yes, because it's your paddle or your hand.
So I don't have a backhand yet, and I've been tossing my paddle into the other hand to hit it
There are
when it's
people
on the
who
left
do
side
that.
of my body.
And
But maybe I'll just smack it with my hand.
Well, it's got to be the hand that your paddles.
Oh, hold on.
So
It's
there's
Wait,
you can't
adding
just smack
layers
it
on
with
it.
your
Yeah, it's a
hand.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
This will
it's
get
a
really
lot.
All right.
This will get really boring. Yeah, I'm sure it probably already was really boring.
You just got me excited. I could just go out there with no paddle and just like smack it all
Smack
over.
the ball,
no,
yeah.
no, it's not like that. So all the all the pickleball listeners, maybe there's one.
Yeah. I think your wife plays
like,
pickleball.
You got that completely wrong.
Your Duper rating has been deducted.
They're going to ban me from Duper. So we always finish every podcast with 2 questions. What do you love about UA, and what would you change?
No, I went first that time. It's your turn.
She's right. She's right. She did.
Well, let's start with what would I change? I would love like a North Star.
North Star Cafe?
North Star or a Fox in the Snow.
Okay.
I like the local UA ones, but I would love one of those just as guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
What I love about UA is the community. It's the closest thing that we found to the way we grew up. And that's ultimately why we moved here, was we toured the entire city and just kind of like drove around cities, drove around neighborhoods. And it's the only place that we saw where like kids just roamed the streets. And like our block is a perfect example. Our 2-year-old would be gone for 2 hours at a time with no worry about where she is or who she's with, because we have 10 kids under the age of 10. 10 kids under the age of 10 on our block, and they'll just flock together. Like, we live right by Northland Park, so my son's like, I'm bored. All right, well, get on your bike, go ride to Jay and Tucker's house, knock on the door, and if they're not home, go ride to Louie's house, knock on the door. We're not going to call and set up play dates and send out Google Sheets to figure out where people, just go ride your bike over there and knock on the door and see if they're home. And look for bikes in the front yard. That's how you'll know that people are home.
So I will tell you that we're already seeing it here. Like the number of, like the entire 4th and 5th grade of Tremont Elementary basically just migrate from the school
Here.
to here.
Yeah.
Like in the past week. So this is the end of our first week. It's, we may have to like get a rolling kind of, it feels like a parade almost, the way they're kind of coming down the street, which is fantastic. It's exactly why we built the facility.
Yeah. Yeah. So the community is what I love the most, for sure.
I should have gone first.
Yeah, you kind of messed up on that one.
Because he kind of took
I
mine.
backed you,
He
but,
took mine a little bit. What I love about UA is the support here. Like, it doesn't matter if, if you need a cup of sugar, like the old school example, there is a neighbor that will give you one. If you need to bridge the gap of 20 minutes before you get home and your babysitter has to leave, like a neighbor will take care of you. If you open a small business, everybody in the community wants to be there when it opens on day one. The new bookstore, Storyline, shameless plug, that's on in Tremont Center. I love the new bookstore. Like, we go there all the time. Like, I take the kids there. I've spent way too much money there. I hope Matt doesn't check the budget on it. But I love that it's local. I love that it's a UA person and that they put like their heart and soul into something. And then there's so much support that the community offers when somebody puts themselves out there like that. So just in general, like the adage is that it takes a village. And I think that our village does a really good job of supporting each other. That's probably my favorite part of UA. As far as things that I would change, I would also love a North Star, or, just more. We have such great walkability. It would just be cool to have more like local shops and restaurants to kind of hang out in. Like, we used to live in German Village, and the shops and restaurants that you could walk to, like that was a big fun thing to do. And I feel like UA could really one up like every other suburb if we had some hip shops and restaurants that were super walkable. But then I think in general, I would love for UA to embrace just I'm trying to think how I want to word it, like, because Matt and I talk about this a lot. There's a lot of means here. Like, there's a lot of resources, and being in sports and like particularly being a coach for the community, people want to use their resources to support their child, which makes sense. Where I think we could do a little bit better job, and this is not exclusive to UA, this is probably any community with a lot of resources, is letting our kids encounter difficulty, adversity, hard conversations, rupture in relationships, and then giving them the space to repair it, and giving them the space to become resilient instead of swooping in with all of our resources to help.
Just let them fail.
Yeah, just letting them fail, letting them have a hard conversation. Like, one of my big things in our preseason expectations meeting is hello parents, it's nice to see all of you. I will not meet with you until I have first met with your child and she expresses what's going on, and we have the opportunity to repair a relationship, because that's an important life skill. It's relationships are comprised of humans, and humans make mistakes. I make mistakes. Are we giving them the opportunity to learn the skills to repair themselves? And it's hard.
As opposed to me coming in and saying,
as opposed to mom or dad
and
coming in and having that conversation for them, which you want to do because you love your kids and you don't want to see them hurt. But I think one of the hardest things when you have the means and you have the resources and you have the support is really knowing when to use it. When is your child actually in danger, or needs your support and your resources, and when do you need to give them some space to learn that they can build confidence and resilience by taking care of it themselves.
Thank you for putting that amount of thought into it and being a coach, because both my boys went through the UA basketball program and were great, fantastic. They're both good players. Didn't end up playing in college, but I think fantastic players. And one of the things that I say all the time about having watched their experience as a parent, kids learn from their coach what they learn. The coach is the first person they've ever seen run an organization up close and personal. They're the first manager they've ever had. That's where they learn how to influence people and get a team to work together. And that's the most important thing that a coach teaches. It's not the X's and O's. It's not how to shoot a ball or hit a ball or serve or whatever the case may be. But it's that kind of understanding of what's the right way to influence individuals to get a common goal accomplished. That's what they're really learning. So thank you for doing that. It's
Thanks,
huge, and putting that much thought into kind of how you approach it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what sports is about anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I always say when I'm telling everybody about the program that what you will get, what my ultimate ethos goal is a safe place to encounter adversity. So your daughter's not going to like me every day.
Right.
They're going to be playing time concerns, confidence issues, spats with teammates. We're going to experience some hard things, but they are always, always, always safe.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. It was great to get to go it was great to get to know you guys a little bit. And hopefully we'll see you around with the kids. You're both.
It's hard to miss us.
Yeah. You'll know if we're around.
Yeah. You do stand out. You're a little bit taller than the average person, both of you. So yeah, I'm sure we'll recognize you when we see you around.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks for having us.
This is fun.
All right,
Thank you.